Ladies and gentlemen, we've done it. The transfer window has closed and yes, that's right. We've got the here we go. Chelsea have signed Enzo Fernandez. We're going to talk about that. I'm going to show you some very, very exciting, positive stuff. In relation to that, we're also going to talk about Hakim Ziyech and his failed move, actually, to PSG, which is frustrating, but perhaps we're okay in keeping a talented player. Lots to get into. I'm going to be honest, early doors. I have been in the pub. I was with a couple of friends. Had a couple of jars. So I have had beers, but it's late and I wanted to react when this news came out early doors. I realised my viewership are international. People watch Football Therapy from all around the world in different time zones. So I wanted to offer my genuine opinion as soon as possible. And despite me having a couple of beers, I feel like it's a good opportunity to do so. We will show you this, the data, the statistics of this player that we've just signed that has become our record transfer in this January window that's been absolutely insane, absolutely monumental, historic, incredible. People said Chelsea were done for, bankrupt. The end when Roman Abramovich had to go, but Chelsea have spent hundreds of millions of pounds. And here we are, signing the best central midfielder in the world, or the best young central midfielder in the world available at the moment for a record fee. And here we are. So thank you for joining me. Thanks for liking the video. It means a lot. Takes a millisecond and it does support the content, and I urge you to subscribe, and should you choose to do so, hit the bell notifications icon. We'll get to Enzo in just a moment. It's a big story. It's like I said, it's historic. It's huge. He won the World Cup as an influential player. I know it was all about Messi, but he was the guy who came into the team and changed the fortunes in midfield after not being in the team in the initial stages. Super young, won the best young player in the World Cup, was excellent for Benfica prior to the World Cup, and has continued to be excellent after. We're talking about a mustard player here, ladies and gentlemen, and that's why he's cost a lot of money. But before we get on to that, Hakim Ziyech, it looks like genuinely he was going to PSG. And breaking news, the deal is off. Of course, the transfer window has closed but half an hour ago. So I'm getting this from Ben Jacobs, the CBS reporter, as an exclusive. Hakim Ziyech deal is off. I feel bad for him, but let's read on and we'll talk about it in a moment. He is stranded in the Paris Saint-Germain club offices. Low confidence of any appeal or solution. Chelsea didn't submit the paperwork on time. Paris Saint-Germain are fuming. They're very angry. Ziyech has done everything in his power to make the move happen. Told he even offered to help financially, which is pretty heartbreaking actually, because it's not like he earns the most out of top level footballers. But right now, he can't be registered and he is stuck in Paris. PSG have an appeal en route to LFP. I don't know what LFP is, but I'm assuming that's a governing body. But they are not optimistic on their chances. Look, Chelsea sold Jorginho to Arsenal. We spoke about that on the latest upload. Official now, announced by Arsenal. If you want my full opinion on Jorginho to Arsenal, I'd urge you to go check out my latest and previous upload. But Ziyech to PSG kind of made sense. He's such a talented player. I think he'd ball out for them genuinely. I think he'd be excellent for Paris Saint-Germain in that league as well. And that's not to denigrate him. I genuinely think he's a very talented player. But I'd also think perhaps it won't work for him at Chelsea. It's such a shame, man, to go to PSG and for Chelsea to let him down like that in terms of getting the paperwork in time. And for him to offer his own money to contribute financially to make it work in whatever aspect he felt like he was hopeful to be empowered to do so. Like, it's just cold, man. I feel bad. Hopefully, if he is stranded at Chelsea, he will still get chances. He has been playing recently. I don't think the Chelsea fans have certainly the Chelsea fans that watch Chelsea live, I don't think they have any issue with Hakim Ziyech. I don't think he is stick. So, You know, if it looks like he has to stay, hopefully he still gets game time despite the abundance of wingers that we have. Hopefully he can register a few assists and score a goal and have a good time, because I have absolutely no issue with Hakim Ziyech. I do think this was a good opportunity for him, and I do think it was a good opportunity for Chelsea as well, and for us not to sort out the paperwork in time is a real bummer. And you know, a more salient point is show some leniency, you know, in terms of like, well, I get UEFA, FIFA, whatever. Like, just let him go. Like, I know the deadline shuts and there's a reason for the deadline, but just let him friggin' go. Like, everyone wants this. Show some, like, maturity and sincerity. I know you could say, oh, if we let him off, then where's the line? And then suddenly you have transfers on the 1st of January. You know, I get it, I get that, but it just seems like, come on. Very, very frustrating. It reminds me of when David De Gea of Manchester United was going to go to Real Madrid, and there was like a fax machine error late and they couldn't get the transfer over the line. Obviously, because of that, they ended up signing Thibaut Courtois. And to be honest, this worked out with them. He's been excellent for them after a, you know, difficult start, but he's been good for them since. Anyway, a big shame for Hakim Ziyech. Jorginho got over the line early doors, and like I said before, you can find my reaction to that transfer in my previous upload, but we're here to talk about Enzo Fernandez, so let's talk about that. Fabrizio Romano tweeting Enzo Fernandez to Chelsea. Here we go. Those 3 words that have become synonymous with a dopamine hit to the brain and success for your club, should you be reading about your club, unless you don't want that player. Agreement reached between Chelsea and Benfica. Important. Clubs running to get the documents signed before the window. It's finally agreed. And yes, he's a Chelsea player. Now, Fabrizio Romano tweeted this late. Some people, including the Secret Scout, which is a Twitter account that many of you may know, tweeted before that this was a done deal. Maybe, and absolutely feasibly, he could have got information prior to Fabrizio Romano. Now, Fabrizio Romano is well informed. He is absolutely. I put him second to Ornstein for Premier League clubs. Maybe someone, you know, there's so many people involved with deals and clubs, and someone that could have like insight to information. They could hear it, you know, you could have the soundest source in the world, and someone else could know the friggin' janitor who just heard them say, yeah, it's done, and saw him sign the document. He'd text someone, suddenly you're ahead of the guy with the best source in the world or whatever. Anyway, you know, Enzo Fernandez, who is, for my money, the best young central midfielder in the world. Who else do you think of? You think of who's young, who's early 20s, who's just turned 20, or you know, the really, really young. You think of more sort of real defensive central midfielders like Eduardo Camavinga and you know, Aurélien Tchouameni, both play for Real Madrid, both very defensive though. You think of an all-rounder. You think of Enzo Fernandez, already a World Cup winner, already the best player at a World Cup in a World Cup winning side, wanted to sign for Chelsea. That's incredible. Chelsea had 10th place in the Premier League. He wanted to come to Chelsea, and you might think, oh, it's the money. No, bollocks. Loads of people offer him money. Chelsea have pitched a project to young players, and like I said recently on a previous video, more saliently, their representatives who are, you know, they're not the footballers. They're meant to be more like cerebral and understanding of what is being offered to their clients, the footballers. And that is a project at Chelsea. And they say, yeah, you know what? You get money everywhere, but at Chelsea, they're doing something here. He wanted to come to Chelsea, and he wants to come to Chelsea. And he's friggin' wicked, and we're going to talk about that now. So Chelsea have signed Enzo Fernandez, and I want to show you, I've shown you before, but I will again, his strengths in his scouting report on FB Ref. Granted, he's playing in the Portuguese league for Benfica, who are doing very well, but, you know, it shows you his full-on... He's been very good in the Champions League as well. Let's have a look. So yet again, ladies and gentlemen, boys and girls, I could only fit in, so it's readable, the 99th percentile, which is the top 1% for all these metrics. He is a pass master, as you can see here. Passes completed, passes attempted, total passing distance. And bearing in mind as I go along, this is the top 1% of people in his field. Progressive passing distance, passes completed short, and attempted short, passes completed medium, and attempted medium, passes completed long, and attempted long. He is the best of the best for passing. Expected assists, top 1%. Passes into the final third, top 1%. Progressive passes, live ball passes, through balls, switches, not just down the middle, switches, guys. And it just gets better. Goal creating actions. And bearing in mind, this guy can play CDM, central mid, attacking mid, but he plays all over the midfield. Goal creating actions, pass live, touches in the middle of third, touches for the live ball, and passes received. This guy is the best of the best in everything. He's all action. He's positionally versatile. He's top boy. Now, yes, you're right to have a sobering thing of, oh, this is the league in Nando's, and he's coming to the Premier League to a currently relatively dysfunctional Chelsea side. Doesn't matter. We'll sign him on a long-term deal. We've got a plan. This kid is mustard. Regardless of your opinion, there's a reason why he's going for a Premier League record transfer. It's just incredible. It's absolutely incredible. And we've got him. Chelsea have signed Enzo Fernandez. He's coming to Chelsea, and he's essentially replacing Jorginho. We're going to look to bring Andre Santos into... Look, guys, if there was ever a season... Remember in 2015 when we finished 10th, and there was nothing to be excited about. We had Cesc Fabregas, we had Eden Hazard, we had Diego Costa. We finished 10th. We didn't know we were going to win the league next season. It was amazing with Conte. Great. Chelsea are currently 10th. I'm not saying we're going to finish 10th. We are currently 10th. But we have signed a multitude of world-class talent for a lot of money. And no least a World Cup winner, wonder kid in Enzo Fernandez, who plays in a position that Chelsea are in such dire need of reinvention in midfield. It's late. I can't shout at you because I'm tired and I've had a couple of beers, but this is monumental. It's gargantuan. It's huge. So Chelsea will sign Enzo Fernandez. I will, of course, do another video tomorrow going into a bit more detail of the deal, hopefully a bit more jacked up. And the other story tonight is, I'm just reading now, an 8.5-year deal for Enzo Fernandez. Incredible. Ziyech as well. Fabrizio Romano has just tweeted a couple of minutes ago of recording this. More on Hakim Ziyech. PSG have an appeal ready to LFP. I don't know what LFP is, so I'm assuming, again, that's a governing body. But contracts are not validated as things stand. The deal is off. He's pissed off, basically. But we're not, because we friggin' signed it. More tomorrow. Keep it locked, subscribe, and hit the bell. See you very soon.